Cheers to the weekend, everyone. Yeah, I know. It's a Diet Coke. Usually I have a beer. It's kind of depressing, but I'm on a diet. But you know what? You'll be thanking me when I have the godlike physique of someone like Tim Lambesis of As Lay Dying. Actually, that's not a good example. He tried to have someone killed. Pretty soon I'll be looking like Peter Steele of Type O Negative. Actually, he tried to have someone killed too. Danzig. In today's video, I wanted to start a new series where basically I talk about a band I like. It's called We're Not Worthy, and today we're talking about Deathspell Omega. We're not worthy! One of my favorite episodes of The X-Files is called Die Hand Die Verlitz. It's about a group of parents and teachers in a small town who try at being devil worshippers. But it turns out the devil finds them very annoying and decides to hire a real devil worshipper to have them dispatched. And to use that episode as a metaphor, if the popular rock band Ghost are the parent-teacher devil worshippers, Deathspell Omega is the real deal. And honestly, in my opinion, they may actually be the best band in the world. And like Ghost, they do not publicly share the identity of the band members. But unlike Ghost, they do not play live, and they do not make music videos. Their EPs and albums kind of just appear without advertisement or build-up. So what do we know? We know they're a French black and death metal band. They've released 6 albums, 5 EPs, a whole bunch of splits and compilations. And their main label is Norma Evangelium Diaboli. Now their first 2 albums, Infernal Battles and Inquisitors of Satan, were released in 2000 and 2002. These 2 albums were straight up black metal of the Norwegian variety. But with the release of See Momentum Requires Circumspice, they got a new singer and completely changed their sound. Now, they didn't change their sound in the typical way, say, to get more members or to experiment, say like Enslaved. No, they changed their sound, supposedly, to become more evil. Now, around the time of the release of this album, 2 interviews were released, and as far as I know, they're the only 2 interviews to ever be released that are directly connected to the band. The first interview was with the departing singer, who said that the other members had gone crazy, that they had gone from being philosophical Satanists to actual Satanists. And the second interview that was released by one of the members supposedly seemed to corroborate what the departing singer was saying, that yes, they have decided to embrace Satan as their Lord and Savior, and that they worship everything evil and stuff. Well, regardless of all that, this album is really quite amazing, combining black metal with death metal in a way that had really never been done before. They created the whole avant-garde scene, which is so popular today. And I can confirm, it's still quite evil. If you try to interpret the lyrics, good luck. No idea. But I can't actually open the gatefold of the album and show it to you because, one, I would most likely be banned from YouTube and possibly arrested. Their next album is actually an EP called Knoss. Now this is actually how I was able to get into the band. It's really quite amazing, and each of their albums are concept albums that seem to be connected. And when they release EPs, they're meant to be supplemental material to go along with the album. Now this EP actually comes with a massive art book that is huge, and actually I kind of suspect it may actually have urine on it. Look, doesn't that look like urine? Now I really want to hammer home the idea that their EPs are very important. I would argue just as important as their albums. They're hugely influential and often contain experimental concepts and ideas that actually don't even make it into the main albums. Their EP, Chaining the Ketchikan, was actually a huge influence for the band Gorguts, who in their own right are extremely innovative and influential. The lead vocalist, Luke LeMay, has stated publicly in interviews that this EP has been, he considers to be one of his favorite albums. Now, Deathspell's second album, Foss, is often considered their best album. Now, personally, I have a hard time getting into it. I haven't quite been able to absorb it yet. It's very complex and there's little to no melody or catchiness to be found on this album at all. Now, in my opinion, Heraclitus is their masterpiece. It's the album that came next, and it is unbelievable. I view this to be pretty much a perfect album in regards to the avant-garde black and death metal genre. Now, a few parts, it actually sounds like they're actually killing someone and recording it. But, that being said, it is a masterpiece. Next, they released the equally amazing Drought EP and Synarchy of Molten Bones. Now, the Drought EP is kind of some controversy around it, specifically for the album cover. It is a artist rendering, and the artist changed a little bit, a National Geographic photo. And I wanted to ask you, you can say it in the comments, whether you think this is too close to plagiarism, because the artist really copied the picture almost exactly and added his own elements to it. Now, Deathspell Omega are a very challenging band to get into. They have a rather large catalog. However, I believe if you have the courage, try all their different EPs and albums if you're having a hard time getting into them, because I guarantee at least one of them, if given the effort, will appeal to you. Then once you're in, you'll be hooked. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Deathspell Omega, we're not worthy.